Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well on this beautiful Sunday. I hope everyone had an amazing day. I did, had a great day. Um, all things in this video are alleged, therefore my opinions only. They are used for entertainment purposes. Tonight we will be discussing, or we will be talking about The Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 9, episode 1. It was a crash course in deflection. The episode starts out with a reenactment of Karen's accident where, she was charged with the DUI. Trying to see, I probably should have looked this up before I hopped my butt on here because they were showing all her charges. I'm trying to see if I can pull them up now. Thought it was more stuff than this, but it states that in March of 2024, the Real Housewives of Potomac star Karen Huger was charged with a DUI and DWI after crashing her Maserati in Maryland. Police cited Huger for driving under the influence and other traffic violations, and she was later released from custody. Huger faces a mandatory court appearance. I don't know if she's been to court yet or not, but we shall see as this season progresses because it was some other stuff that showed up on the screen that she was charged for. She was charged for like 6 different things from what I saw. But like I said, when the episode started, it showed with the reenactment of her accident. Then we will see where Giselle is on her way to go see Karen, and she's on the phone with Ashley, and she tells Ashley that she's going to check on Karen. And once she gets to the house, she tells Ray that she's going to go drive Miss Karen, as a play off of driving Miss Daisy, but she used driving Miss Karen. Um, Giselle asks Karen if driving by the crash site, if it's triggering for her. Karen said it's not triggering, but she would prefer them not to drive by the site. And, Karen tells her that her injuries weren't life threatening, but she can't talk about it because it hasn't been adjudicated. Um, I feel like Karen is embarrassed about what happened and just doesn't want to talk about it. Now, I don't know why she thinks that she is going to go this whole season with talking about it. It's not going to happen because it's going to get brought up every chance they get. They're going to throw it in her face. It's going to be arguments. It's going to be all kind of stuff that's going to come about because even when they played the clips as to what is to come in the season, we will see where a lot of people throw that up in her face. So it's definitely going to be a topic of conversation for this whole season. Um Giselle lets Karen know that, when she heard about the accident, she was concerned whether or not she would be okay because she couldn't imagine anything happening to her because who would she argue with if something happened to Karen? Wendy, because that's who you've been arguing with all this time. Shoot. But she lets Karen know. Well, Karen lets her know because Giselle was asking about the different charges and what was being said and different stuff. And Karen was like, you can read. But Giselle was like, at that particular time, she wasn't trying to be shady. She was legitimately concerned about, what was going on. So Karen tells her that a lot of things that's going on in her life affected her emotionally. And she was like, when Ray went through what he went through, she was there for him. and she needs him to be there for her, but she doesn't feel like he's really there because she says she feels like the things that have started affecting her emotionally, which contributed to the crash, is grief and her marriage problems. And she says she's just really in a really emotional state. But I can't say, how long it takes anybody to go through anything because everything affects everybody differently. Grief affects people differently. It doesn't help if you're grieving. You lost your mother, then she said 7 months later she lost her father, and now she's going with through these issues with race. So that is a lot, but I do feels like Karen is being deflecting on things. She doesn't want to talk about it because she's the grand dame, but the grand dame need to own up to what she has done in this DUI because the grand dame really could have hurt somebody out there seriously, for real. Luckily, she didn't, but she could have. So, we need to take things like that seriously and don't try to brush it off like it wasn't that serious because it really was. And she feels like, after everything that's been going on in her life, she feels she has never really taken care of herself. And Giselle was like, just by looking at her, if you're on the outside looking in, you assume that she's taking care of herself because it looks like she's taking care of herself. But that's not the case. She then lets Karen know that she wants to do something for her birthday. She lets her know that she wants to invite Wendy, Mia, Ashley, child, try to remember who all in the doggone group. She was Jacqueline, and of course Karen mentions her two friends, which is Stacy and what's the other lady's name? Do I have the other lady's name written down? Vivian. So she lets her know that she wants those two people invited as well. Um, Karen asks how everyone is. She tells them basically that everyone is doing well. They was just worried about her. They talk about Mia's short man. They call him DJ something. I forgot what they called him man. But they was talking about how short he is and how she's standing back trying to make him seem like he's taller than her when he really isn't. And then Karen tells Giselle, she when she comes back to her with all the gossip, and she should have come sooner. So I guess Giselle made her smile and feel a little better, and Giselle's like, "Oh, she being shady." Next, we'll see Mia and Gordon where they're taking their kids out for ice cream. We know they are separated. They are, taking the time to spend time with the kids. They let us know that Gordon is now staying in the same apartment building that Mia is in. And Mia feels like, that's interrupting her time of getting her little sneaky links because she can't have a little sneaky links like she wanted to. But if you're with Ink, why you sneaky linking anyway? Isn't that the person you wanted? Because that's what Gordon was talking about. He apologized for being mean to her, and they are trying to co-parent. And Mia mentions that they wanted to do a paternity test because Ink thinks Jeremiah is his. Of course, Gordon is mad and he feels a way about that and he doesn't agree. Now, my thing with that is, Mia, you shouldn't have been busting it open, spreading it wide for two men at the exact same time to the point that you don't know who your child's father is. That's just unacceptable. Unacceptable. How you gonna lay with folks like that and then you just not know who your child's father is? Completely unacceptable. Mia, you need to get your shit together. Next, we will see where Ashley goes to see her attorney, and she's talking about how she's test driving men to see, but she called it cars to see which one is a better fit for her. It does some flashbacks of when she's going out on dates and whatever. They are discussing the custody because they said that's going to be a real big thing is the custody. Now, whether or not Michael wants custody, we don't know, but that's basically what they're talking about in that episode, in that scene. Next, we will see Wendy at home with her husband. She's talking about resigning from her position as a professor. This is something she's wanted to do for a while, but she hasn't really done it because, she's scared of what her mother may say. Because even when she mentioned it to, it does a flashback of when she mentioned it to her mother before, and her mom was like, "Oh, you almost made me hurt her. You scared me," or something like that. But Wendy's, unpacking all the things that she's brought from her office at the college. And, basically she tried to take over the office at the house that her husband already has. And homeboy said, "Hey, you gonna have to find you somewhere else to put that stuff." But then, she sits down and she types up her resignation letter and sends it in. And she's like, "Did I really just do that?" And he asked her husband said, "Did you do it?" And she was like, "Yeah." He asked her how she felt about it. "Do you feel free?" And she was like, she feels nervous because, she got to tell her mom. And that's the biggest issue, was telling her mom, but she's glad she did it on her terms. Of course, she hadn't told her mom. Next, we'll see where Karen goes to a boutique and she's walking sideways. I guess that's when she hurt herself from the accident, because they must have really started filming right after the accident, but she was walking sideways. I don't know. But she goes to see Vivian, who is the boutique owner, and Karen's friend Stacy also comes by. They talk about the invitation that Giselle sent out, where it's a hatitude party. Um, they noticed, well, Karen noticed that Stacy didn't have on her wedding ring or her engagement ring, so she asked her about it, and Stacy lets them know that she's been separated for the last year and she is now currently going through a divorce. Um, mm, so while they're there, Stacy is trying on different dresses, and she said she's been married for 16 years, so um, it's different when you've been with someone for 16 years. She let us know that she met him on an air on an airplane. And, while they're sitting there talking, she's changing and putting on different clothes, having tried different things. Now, they asked Karen if it bothers her if they drink in front of her. Karen says no. She states that she's on medication, but she will be. That's the reason she's not drinking right now, but she will be having libations with them in the future. In the future, she will be having her some libations. Now, Karen Huger, you done had enough libations, baby. We don't need you out there getting another DUI. You get another DUI, your ass is gonna get locked up, Karen. Karen, you listening? Your ass is gonna get locked up. But anyway, but that red dress that Miss Stacy had on, yeah, I like that one. She looked good in that red dress. The next scene we will see where Giselle goes to the venue. She arrives early to try to get everything set up. Ashley is the first to arrive, and she tells, Giselle tells her a little bit about what Karen told her in regards to the situation. With dealing with the, well, she lets Ashley know that she invited everybody to the birthday party. And she also lets her know that she invited Wendy because she was like dealing with the loss of her father last year and made her realize how life is short. So it has made her more empathetic. Now that we will see, I don't know. We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see the season play out to see how empathetic Miss Giselle is, because baby girl ain't always empathetic. You know, she's a little messy. So we're gonna have to see how this season plays out. I don't know how empathetic. I mean, she seemed like she was kind of genuine on this episode, but we shall see. We shall see, though. We shall see. Now, it shows where Wendy shows up, but Wendy states that, you know, she doesn't feel like it was an olive branch and they need to talk separately about what their personal issues is that made them get to the space that they are at this time. And they talk about Karen, and then Mia said something about her being drunk and because she had talked to Jacqueline on the phone. Jacqueline said that she sounded like she might have been tipsy. So Mia ran with that. We don't know if that's true or not. However, Wendy said, "Baby, I don't want no parts of this. If y'all sitting here trying to talk about Karen is drinking and has drunk and is drinking, I want no parts. All that gonna be on y'all. We ain't got nothing to do with it." Wendy said she ain't in it. Her name Bennett, and she ain't in it. Next we'll see where Karen's friends show up, and then finally Karen waltzes in as her friends are being greeted. And so Giselle made a statement about her being 61. And, you know, she said the drinks and stuff on the menu were in relations to Karen Huger. Of course, she said they had some non-alcoholic Grand Dame, which is called non-alcoholic Grand Dame. So with that, Karen said Giselle was being, she couldn't help herself and she was being messy. So she called her Messy Jeezy. Oh, Messy Jeezy. I mean, it was a little play on it. It wasn't that bad. I mean, some of this the stuff that other people that are saying are worse than what Giselle said, which you should have expected. You got arrested. I mean, not arrested, but you got hit with a DUI. They was gonna throw that in there somewhere. That shouldn't have been a surprise. But Giselle starts trying to give the little hats that she had around the room, because she was saying that they had the banana hat, they had the construction hat, then they had a taco hat. So she said that's with anybody that got out of line or whatever. And so she gave Karen a hat that was called Hollywood. It was cute. Then she gave Ashley a hat that was called Cowgirl. And then she gave Mia a hat that was called The King. Of course, she didn't finish giving out all the hats because, of course, the episode would end. But Karen asked if anybody had any questions. And now I found this strange that nobody had any questions, because everybody had a lot to say before she got there, because they were asking, especially like Ashley, Mia, and Jacqueline, you know, they were having conversations about Karen before she got there, and Giselle was like, they were asking me stuff. So Karen was like, they don't need to be asking you, just ask me, ask the horse. So when she asked them, did they have any questions? Of course, nobody has any questions. Everybody's on hush mode. So I'm like, so y'all want to ask everybody else stuff, but when the person that's this situation is dealing with asks if you got any questions, y'all don't have any questions. So Karen states that she wants to know who her real friends are She don't want no fake bitches around her. I'm like, what? Kara's a show, none of y'all fake bitches around her. And she lets them know to be mindful of going so low. And they're like, this is the same thing that she does every time, because the last time she got a DUI, she couldn't talk about it. So every time something happens that Karen don't want to talk about, she goes, the lawyers are involved and she don't want to talk about it, or she can't talk about it. So at this point, they were like, oh, getting tired of you saying what you can't talk about now. You're going to have to start opening up some of this stuff. Giselle then invite the girls to a GNA party, GNA fusion party, which is for the Giselle and Ashley line. Uh, okay, whatever, whatever. Um, that's crazy. Karen asked if they were going to see G, and she said yes, they're co-parenting. Jacqueline makes the statement of she thinks the ink pen, is a better fit for Mia, and G was more like a business arrangement. So they were like, a business arrangement. That was how long y'all was married? And she was like 11 years. So like, dang, that was a long business arrangement. So they mentioned it to Mia. It's like, come on, Mia. Now you know that wasn't a business arrangement, but they got to talking about, when Gordon went off and how the kids got brought up, and Giselle and Karen made the statement of Mia didn't fully protect her kids. And Mia got in her feelings and she went to crying. She walked off. And that was basically how the episode ended, with Mia running to the bathroom crying. And of course, Wendy was like, she didn't like that they said that, because as mothers, that felt like a low blow. Now, I personally feel like it's fucked up that she'll know who my baby daddy is. Now, that's me and my thoughts, because I don't know how you can be sitting here doing this dude and this dude back to back like that, to the point you don't know who your child's father is. And how old is the boy? He's what, 12? Really? If you were in doubt, you should have had that done like back when he was first born, where you could have nipped that in the bud. You could have been like, you could have did your little swap, so it could have just been a peace of mind for you, because you was married to this man and you over here screwing this man, and now you like, who the daddy, I don't know my baby daddy. But anyway, that is it for this episode, y'all. Hopefully, this will be a great season. I'm looking forward to it. But that is going to be it for this particular episode. So please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think. And I will talk to you all soon.